Yeah, I'm not going to get drunk with you, man. I'm not encouraging that behavior. Hi, Adol. Isn't it a bit early to be setting off? No, not really, Margot. Are you sure we can't convince you to stay a little longer? Come on now, you're going to make him feel guilty about leaving. Well, he'll be missed. It'll be lonely around here without him for sure. I know. Maybe you could stay here and Doji can go off on some grand adventure in your place. Aw, Mams, why you gotta bust my walls like that? I get it. Bust my walls. Because he's Doji, that's what he does. He busts walls. And not balls. I'm just teasing. And I'll sincerely hope I have a chance to see you again. You'll always be welcome in Redmont. And if you do come back, I'll make you one hell of a feast to celebrate. Take care of yourself now, you hear? Joel? Margot puts up a very good front, I must say. She's always heartbroken when people leave, yet she acts like she's on top of the world. I can't bear to see it. Hey, chipper as ever, Joel, ain't ya? Poor Adol's gonna feel like crap by the time he ships off. We'll meet again, hopefully. May your journey see you well, Adol. Maybe. Maybe. I have a feeling that there might be another problem next place we go. So, Adol, you're leaving us then. We're all greatly in your debt. Thank you for everything you've done. What about you, Master? What are you gonna do now? Planning to go back to your cabin up in the mountains? No, not that, Count. Now that Count McGuire is reformed, I see no further need to live the life of a hermit. And with the monsters gone, I've left adrift in this world, a man without a purpose. Oh, come now, Master, you're no such thing. No, I am. My job here is done. All I'm qualified for is mercenary work, and that's out of the question. Honestly, I think I'm just going to relax now. Relax and mourn the loss of a dear pupil, of course. I see it as retirement. Living out the rest of my days here, hoping to rebuild. I actually look forward to it. With all the old mysteries solved, nothing's standing in the way of this nation's future. I think Genos would be proud of that. Thanks, Bearheart. We might be seeing him again, but for now, that is it. Nothing doing here. Nothing doing here, except for Doji getting in the way. That tends to happen. All right, let's head over here. How you doing, Fiona? Phew, mornings sure are busy around here, especially now that things are peaceful again. So much cleaning to do. I've been cleaning up ever since morning mass ended, and I've barely put a dent in the work that needs to get done. Father Pierre's sermon today was beautiful. He's been preaching like a pro this past week. Maybe someday he'll be as good as Bishop Nicholas once was. Right. Oh, she's been cleaning up, right? It certainly would be nice if my husband and son would lend a hand, but they're men, and you know how that goes. Now she's repeating herself. But that first part was repeating too. Cynthia? Adol? I'm very sorry, but we're not open for business yet today. What? You're leaving us? I'm sorry to hear that. It won't be the same without you. You were our only customer. You've taught everyone, myself included, how to be a little more brave. If you ever have a chance to visit Felghana again, I do hope you'll come see us. We'll be here and we'll be waiting. Safe journey and good health to you, Adol Kristen. Adonis? No need to say anything. Adonis held out his hand to Adol. You take care of yourself. Be sure to come back again someday. I'll work on honing my art even more by then. Maybe I'll be world famous. And then, bam, Autograph City for you. All right, looks like we are done talking to people, except for Gardner here. Good morning, Adol. Awfully early start today. You going somewhere? Oh, so you're leaving? It's probably bad form to be asking you this now, but have you considered staying here with us? Everyone in town already thinks of you as one of their own. I'm sure they'd all be thrilled. You're wasting your breath, old man. He wouldn't know what to do with himself if there were no more grand adventures in his life. The thrill of new lands is what keeps him going. Yes, I believe I understand. I believe we've just grown attached to you, Adol. But you needn't mind us. Absent makes the heart grow fonder, after all. Take care in your travels, and be sure you come visit. Adol, you'll come back and see us again, right? You'd better. Let us know in advance, and we'll throw you one monster of a party when you get here. Hold on. All right, I think I am ready. Let's head out. What do you know? A cutscene. Well, Adol, I guess this is goodbye. If I go with you all the way to the dock, I know I won't be able to I won't be able to keep myself from getting on that boat. But like I mentioned yesterday, I think I really need to stay here and help rebuild. The monsters are gone, but the quarry is still in bad shape, and there's a lot of damage to repair. Don't think we should leave Veilstein Castle in its current state either. So I'm going to stay here for a bit and help my homeland get back on its feet. I think that's what Chester would have wanted too. You, though, you need to continue your journey and give everyone something to dream about. No need for the puppy dog eyes, man. If you stay in one place long enough, you know I'll catch up to you. We'll meet again, partner. I promise you that. Adol was reassured and bid Doji a fond, albeit temporary, farewell. Elena, though? You were right, Chester. I have to be brave. Elena? Doji, where's Adol? Heh, you just missed him. He was headed toward the pier, so you might catch up with him if you run. Okay. Hey, watch your step along the way if you're planning to chase after him. The monsters may be gone, but that doesn't mean there aren't still cliffs and jagged rocks and stuff. I will. Thank you, Doji. Heh. Go for it, Elena. Adol, wait! Thank goodness I caught you. Adol, I'm sorry I didn't come out to see you earlier. I owe you so much. The very least I can do is see you off. I just didn't know what to say to you. I'm so confused. But I knew that I'd always regret it if I let you leave without saying goodbye. So I had to see you. I just want to say thank you so much for everything. Because of you, I believe that Chester's finally at peace. And in the end, he saved everyone, all of Felghana. He told me I have to go on living, and I will. I believe he had no regrets. Thinking about him still hurts. But I believe that everything he did, misguided though it may have been, was to protect me. Me and all the other people he loved here. That's why I have to be strong. I have to stand on my own. So I can protect the people and the home I love, just like he did. And I swear that I will. Right here, on this spot, I pledge my oath to him. There's so much more I wanted to say to you, but I'll have another opportunity to say it eventually. You'll be back. I just know you will. And once I've fulfilled my oath, I hope to see you again and tell you all about it. Adol nodded firmly. I'll be looking forward to that day. Goodbye, Adol. I'm really glad I met you. And that is the game. That is Ys, the Oath in Felghana. I do have to say, I feel like this was, for the most part, a pretty big improvement over the first two games. I feel like the first two games are kind of the same in my book because they were released so closely together. And they kind of have the one story to it, just kind of split in half. But this game I feel like is an improvement over the two. In terms of story, there was like a pretty big twist in the game. With that said, I feel like the story was still a little short. I feel like there could have been more twists and turns along the way, but you weren't necessarily given that opportunity, given how small the game had to be at the time that it was released. So I understand it, but I still just want more. I feel like them only having one town was kind of a detriment to the game. One real town where there were people to talk to. I'm not counting Veilstein Castle because there are only like 5 people there. But there were some things that I felt needed to be improved, but overall I felt it was a good game. The battle system, although greatly improved, we're not just running into things anymore. I feel like the 3D aspect was not necessarily handled very well in this version, simply because of the boss fights primarily. But anything that was thrown in the air and was going to land, I had basically no idea where it was going to land. I just had to guess and hope. So it wasn't necessarily my favorite because of that. And then the boss fights in particular had that happen a lot. And the boss fights were basically something similar to a bullet hell. Not necessarily as difficult as a bullet hell, but they had that aspect where you were just dodge 90% of the time and then sneak in and attack anytime you could. And that's not necessarily how I like to do boss fights in RPGs. I understand it. But there were definitely some boss attacks and things like that where there was basically nothing I could do. If the boss did attack A and then attack B, I was going to get hit every time because there wasn't a way for me to dodge that. Overall, though, I greatly enjoyed the game. I felt that the boss fights, for the most part, were overly difficult, but fair. You know, it was way more difficult than anything else that I was fighting. But I rarely got the impression, okay, what am I supposed to do about that? But it did happen, especially towards the latter half of the game. I can think of like 3 or 4 boss fights where I thought, wait, what am I supposed to do here? But overall, a lot of fun. A great continuation of the series. Even more evidence in my book that Ys is one of just the huge RPG series that Japan was cranking out in the late 80s, early 90s that was forgotten here in the West, because I didn't know anybody that had heard of Ys until like maybe Ys 7. Then I started hearing about it. But it is a lot of fun. There is more for us to do. Yeah, the graphics and the music were great, by the way. There is more for us to do, actually. I'm probably going to have to finagle with a few of the files in order to get that to happen, aka cheating. But because in order to unlock everything, like I need to do it on Nightmare difficulty and then Inferno difficulty and things like that. But we have done quite a bit, and they thanked me for playing, which is always nice. So as you can see, I have unlocked Time Attack. There are other things for me to do once I go through Time Attack, and then like I said before, I would like to do it at max level to show how easy the boss fights can be if you are max level, and then of course if you are max level and know what the attack patterns are going to be going in, which will probably make things easier for me. But for now, that is going to do it for these parts of Let's Play Ys, The Oath in Felghana. I have been ballerscuba. I've been joined, as always, by our champion, Adol Kristen. Although I do have to say, I felt like Chester took a lot of the glory out of what we did, and I felt like that kind of hurt the game toward the end, where Chester was not only clearly the better swordsman, but then sacrificed himself to actually kill the final boss that we had just gravely injured, or at least injured severely. So I felt that was a bit of a detriment to the game as well. But like I said, I did enjoy it. So joined as always by Adol, and to a lesser extent Chester. And to an even lesser extent, Doji. Where was Doji for all this? But that is going to do it. Hope you laughed. Hope you learned. Hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.